Summers County has become the dominant program in Class AA girls basketball. They're the two-time defending champion, but the Lincoln Cougars would like nothing more than to spoil the Lady Bobcats' march to perfection. Metro News Sports, in association with Suddenlink, presents the State Girls High School AA Championship game between the Summers County Bobcats and the Lincoln Cougars. Hi, everybody. Welcome inside the Charleston Civic Center along with Fred Persinger. I'm Hoppy Kirchhoff for this AA championship game. Well, they met in the championship game last year, and then it was Summers County defeating Lincoln by a score of 80-47. Fred Persinger, any reason to think it will be different this year?
Well, I think it is because it's a much different ball club that David Ray has brought to the Charleston Civic Center Coliseum this year. But a young team last year. Only Chelsea Holcomb, the point guard, remains from that team last year. So I think he has confidence it's going to be a much better ball game by his Lincoln Cougars.
One of the outstanding players on this Lincoln team is their senior, Rachel McIntyre, really strong down in the paint.
No doubt about it. 6'1" senior in the quarters. She had 15 points and 10 boards. Semifinals against Sissonville, 15 points, 10 more rebounds. They use her extremely well. Got a great soft touch down low on the block. Great inside player is Rachel McIntyre of Lincoln.
For Summers County, they have good depth, but you'll see in this ball game that a lot begins and ends with senior and their leader, Emily Blevins.
Finished second in the Player of the Year voting to Whitney Bays, the 6'1" senior in the quarters. Emily had 20 points and 14 rebounds. Fell off in the semifinal round against Ravenswood. Scored only 7 points. Head coach Wayne Ryan knows she has to step her game back up to that quarterfinal round level in this championship game today against Lincoln.
We will meet the starting lineups and we'll tip it off in the AA championship game between Summers County and Lincoln right after this.
You can't bundle, tell the truth. We don't want you on our route. You're expensive, tell the truth. We don't want you on our route.
Hard is being a satellite customer.
No bundle, no peace. Yeah!
Easy is joining the Suddenlink revolution.
Down with the dish, down with the dish, down with the dish.
Satellite can't bundle. We can.
Suddenlink, you're connected.
The starting lineups for today's AA championship game being presented by Friends of Coal, committed to clean energy, your job, and a better quality of life for all West Virginians. Friends of Coal. Starting lineups for today from Lincoln County. We mentioned Rachel McIntyre. Chelsea Holcomb, though, keep an eye on her. Keep an eye on her for Lincoln. She averages 18 points and 10 rebounds in this tournament. That's in Lincoln County. Obviously, Lincoln, they're from Shinston. And for Summers County and the Lady Bobcats, Hallie Gano, 13 points and 7 steals in the win over Ravenswood in the semifinals. Coaches for these teams, for Lincoln, there's David Ray in his 8th year. And for Summers County, in the huddle there is Wayne Ryan, 14 years, and Fred, back-to-back state championships for Coach Ryan and the Bobcats.
And ironically enough, with all the success they've had at Summers County High School in ladies basketball, they have never gone through a year, won a state championship and all of that, undefeated. They go for that this afternoon. In fact, they're the only high school basketball team in the state, boys and girls, regardless of class, that are undefeated this year. He'd like to go out that way. It's never happened before at Summers County High School.
But you know what he said in the post game the other day, Fred, after victory? He says, you're really not seeing Summers County basketball. He says they're not playing that well right now.
Well, they're not. I would agree with him. And here's proof in point. They played 18 AA teams up to date. Their average margin of victory, including games in this tournament over AA competition this year, 45 points per game. That's amazing.
Quickly down, Hallie Gano. Bounce off the fingers of her twin sister, Hannah Gano. Yes, they are sisters and they are twins. One is 12, that's Hallie. One is 21, and that's Hannah. We'll do our best to keep them separated for you.
Well, they are certainly key ingredients to this ball club. You see different starting lineups from time to time by Wayne Ryan. He has what he calls a starting 7, and he does rotate 7 players in that starting lineup.
Up in it, no, it rolled out, it looked like. that there was an easy two there for Marissa Lane, but she didn't get the roll. And quickly the other way comes Summers County.
Well, so many times we see opening game jitters, and that's what's happening right now. These teams will settle down and play the basketball that got them to the state title game.
Estes had her shot partially blocked on the putback, not there, and the rebound. You'll see a lot of that today as Rachel McIntyre pulls down the rebound. And there's McIntyre on the other end, off the front of the rim, and will go the other way.
Chelsea Holcomb going to pick up the personal foul, going over the back on the rebound. The one thing that David Ray does is uses Rachel McIntyre better than anyone I've seen in the state. They wait on her to get down the floor. The pass always tries to go through her first, and she has such a soft shot on the inside.
So, first minute of the ball game here between Summers County and Lincoln for the AA championship. Into Gano. Ball gets away, stolen away, turnover, Summers County. What Summers County really likes to do is just right there, keep the defensive pressure on. As the steal by Hannah Gano. Hannah up, has the shot partially blocked. Now, all alone, Rachel McIntyre, uncontested. Quick dribble, up and in, calmly, 2 points for Rachel.
And the key word to use there, Hop, calmly. She didn't rush anything. She knew she had time, took the nice soft dribble, laid the 2 points in.
And McIntyre runs the court and gets the clean block on the other end. An impressive start for the senior. A furious beginning to this ball game. To Estes. Kicks it out to Brown. Too strong and out of bounds. Man, take a breath.
You know, you talk about Ashley Brown, one of 4 Brown sisters that has played basketball at Summers County. They got a couple of them playing at Concord University right now. Ashley Brown, though, has a younger sister, Candace, on this team as well.
We remember Jolisa from the last couple of championships for Summers County, right?
And we do. And, of course, we remember Sierra Brown, the oldest of the 4 Brown sisters.
The AA competition has to be wondering, please, when do the Browns stop?
The last one is Candace, and she's a 9th grader.
And you'll see her. She gets in the game pretty quickly, and she is, she reminds me of her older sister, Ashley. She's very athletic. She's long, lean.
Yeah, it really adds a spark when she gets into the lineup for Wayne Ryan's team.
Gano, baseline, drives in, can't get it to finish. So far, Summers County having trouble getting the ball in the hole. Parsons the other way. Rebound taken out by Hallie Gano. Summers County will run. Great pass from sister to sister, and that one went from Hallie to Hannah. Hannah gets the 2. Now stolen the other way, and a foul against Lincoln.
Well, that's the thing about Summers County. They don't quit. A lot of teams score, they retreat the other way. Not Wayne Ryan's ball club. They score, they're going to be jumping right into that passing lane. Great pass inside, and Gano finishes it. Hannah Gano, the 5'11 sophomore, got the great pass from her older sister. And she is older by a couple of minutes.
They were asked yesterday, they were talking at the post-game press conference, and apparently they fussed at each other on the court occasionally.
Wow, sisters
and
fussing?
Coach Wayne Ryan said, when I see that, I just don't get involved. I'll let them sort it out for themselves. Hannah makes 1 of 2. She has 3 points. It's 3-2 Summers County. Parsons into Flanagan. Can't get the roll, but the offensive rebound by the Cougars.
Yeah, tipped out by Rachel McIntyre.
McIntyre is wide open and up and in. Rachel McIntyre was waving her arms, and finally she was spotted. The defense by Summers County uncharacteristically left her open.
How about McIntyre? She never panics, though. She's always in control.
Very cool. Just like Hallie Gano is cool. So Hallie Gano on the board with a 2. It's 5-4 Summers County. Turnover, Lincoln.
Yeah, traveling called on Chelsea Holcomb as she tried to fight her way down inside. Always with the head up, though, looking to see where Rachel McIntyre is. They love to get that offense centered around the 6'2 senior.
Emily Blevins. Rebound Flanagan.
This is the one thing that Wayne Ryan talked to me about this morning, and the fact, boy, he said, I hope we don't have a slow start like we've had in the quarterfinal and the semifinal. Not been as slow, but still not the type of basketball the Bobcats are used to.
Rachel McIntyre is just cool as they come under the basket there as Hallie Gano travels on the other end. Rachel McIntyre, the senior center, has 6 points. And the Lincoln Cougars have a 1-point lead over the Bobcats of Summers County.
Nobody wants to work next to anybody whose judgment is impaired by drugs or alcohol. I'm Aaron Searles, Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local 521. I love my family, and coming home safely to them every night, it's the most important thing in my life. The cost of providing a drug-free workforce is nothing when you compare it to the cost of a lost time accident. We don't just talk about a drug-free workforce, we do something about it. The union workforce is a drug-free workforce.
The University of Charleston, the #1 baccalaureate university in West Virginia in 2009, according to U.S. News and World Report, is on the move. Pursue degrees in areas of arts and sciences, business, or health sciences. Don't forget about graduate offerings such as the UC School of Pharmacy or the Downtown Graduate School of Business. High school students, don't miss Preview Day on April 25th. It's a great time to get a first look at UC, meet students and faculty members, tour the campus and residence halls. Register at www.ucwv.edu or contact the admissions office.
WVU women's basketball coach Mike Carey doing a little scouting here today, Fred.
Doing a little scouting and wondering where his team's going to be in the NIT. You'll know Monday night. Well, this young lady's played well. Look at Rachel McIntyre. I got it. No, I don't. Now I got it. And she scores. And then she gets the nice pass in from Marissa Lane. Waits for the defense to move by. Calmly puts it off the glass. That's the key about Rachel McIntyre. Never gets flustered. She knows where she is on the floor. And she's got a very soft touch inside. She has all 6 of those Lincoln Cougar points.
And as you said, Lincoln does a good job of finding her on those offensive sets. 6-5, Lincoln leads Summers County in the AA championship game. Up and in for Holcomb, her first 2, and it's a 3-point lead for the Cougars. Leslie Mack with the basketball, who's checked into the ball game for Summers County on the pass down low, and it's Hallie Gano has her second bucket.
Bobcats not a bad passing team themselves. Great look on that baseline cut. Gano.
8-7, Lincoln. Cross court, Holcomb for 3. Off the rim, strong rebound by Blevins. Gano to Estes. 9-8. Summers County has the lead by 1.
Lauren Estes going to be called on a reach-in foul. Now, the one thing that David Ray not exactly happy about the last 2 times down the floor, his team has not waited on Rachel McIntyre. One time they score on the field goal by Chelsea Holcomb. The next time they did not score, and McIntyre was not there to get the rebound.
Holcomb again. This time shot no good. Rebound though is taken by Lincoln County.
Kept alive by McIntyre.
Parsons looking for some room. Entry pass gets away. Fought for in the scramble. Blevins had it, and Lane was on top of her. And it's going to be Summers County basketball.
Hustling all over the floor. That's the thing about Summers County. They dive after every loose basketball. Wayne Ryan talked about playing Lady Bobcat basketball. You just saw that there. Diving on the floor after the loose balls, causing the turnovers.
Foul was on Lane. 3 by Hallie Gano is way long. Shot is blocked by Blevins. Here comes Hallie Gano. And she walked. She was looking that time for Leslie Mack, but just took an extra step.
She did, but great defense by Marissa Lane of Lincoln to cause that turnover.
Summers County 23.
Nice job going straight up in the air by Emily Blevins on that last block shot. Not even close to getting a foul.
Ashley Brown's younger sister, Candace Brown, has checked into the game. So you have Ashley and Candace sisters in the game as McIntyre once again gets free on the post, puts it in for her 8th point. Again, a 1-point lead for the Cougars. Mack. Mack again with the open look, and that's 2.
Well, this is a much better start for the Bobcats than they had in the first 2-round games. Ball was almost stolen away by Ashley Brown, taken right back, though, by Lincoln.
Parsons couldn't get the shot to fall, but Holcomb is right there with a putback for her 4th point. And back and forth we go. Now it's a 1-point lead for Lincoln. McIntyre rebounds. Tied up. Possession arrow favoring Lincoln.
Candace Brown probably said, I can tie you up, but I can't take the ball away from you. That's for sure.
Hannah Gano comes in now, as does Hallie.
Also coming in for the Bobcats, number 12, Hallie Gano.
You know, it's like I feel like I'm at a family gathering. I'm trying to keep track of all the sisters and twins who are in the game here for Summers County.
It's a family affair.
Blevins goes down hard on the trip. Now saved by Gano, trying to save, but she touched the line, so it's going to be Lincoln basketball. They have the basketball and the 1-point lead. 1:14 left to go in the first quarter. Flanagan throws it in for the Cougars. Lane will set it up. Entry pass to that time. Try to get into McIntyre, just a little too strong, and the ball goes out of bounds. But
Great defense, though, by Summers County.
Indeed it was, because it forced Lincoln to throw that pass a little bit too far. That's a choice you have to make on McIntyre. Do you front her or do you try to get behind her? I think the decision is to front her. And Hallie Gano has her 6-point good start for Hallie. And now the 1-point lead swings back to Summers County. Other way. 2-on-1. Held ball. Possession arrow. Summers County.
Wayne Ryan's philosophy, defense will win you a state championship, and they're playing great defense right now.
And what you will see this game is that they will press. Not in the first, second, or third. They'll press the whole game. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter whether they're behind or, of course, they're always ahead, but they'll press no matter what's going on.
You're exactly right. Does not make any difference about the score. Wayne Ryan was quoted as saying a couple of months ago when I was talking with him in another tournament, he said, that's what I know. That's what I teach my kids. That's what we play. And he doesn't back down at all.
Because I'm sure that some folks on the receiving end of a good thumping by Summers County wonder why he's still pressing when he's up by 30 or 40 points.
A lot of times you say, well, we'll get you, but not too often has anybody got Wayne Ryan. Well, what a program he has in Hinton, West Virginia at Summers County High School.
Entry pass gets away. The foul, by the way, was on Marissa Lane earlier, and that's 2 on her. With 34 seconds left to go in the first quarter. 13-12, Summers County leads Lincoln. 30 seconds to go. Holcomb working on Hallie Gano. Nearly stolen away by Brown. Finds the open player on the baseline, but it won't fall for Holcomb. And after a couple of tries, it's going to come out to Summers County. Mack, 5 seconds on this clock, and she's fouled on the shot. So Mack will go to the free throw line. She's a 73% free throw shooter.
I guess it's safe to say you have to be in pretty good shape to play Summers County basketball.
Well, they just are relentless in the way they want to run and they want to press. Two-point Summers County lead. Mack gets another. Coming off a 23-point performance in the win over Ravenswood in the semifinals. They get the offensive rebound and the putback, and Gano is fouled. So it'll be Hannah Gano going to the free throw line.
Also 15, Brooks.
Fouls on Brennan Brooks. Her first. Team foul number 6.
And it's the style of play that Summers County has that will cause you to commit those fouls, the way they stay in your face, keep coming after you, and all of a sudden you find yourself reaching and slapping at the ball.
So the first quarter comes to an end, and a furious pace here, up and down basketball with Lincoln and Summers County. And so far for Summers County, Hallie Gano has 6 points. Hannah Gano, her sister, has 4. Rachel McIntyre, 8 for the Lincoln Cougars. Good ball game underway in Summers County with a 3-point lead.
Let Potomac State College of West Virginia University exceed your expectations. Start smart and plan a visit today at PotomacStateCollege.edu.
This 2009 West Virginia State High School Basketball Championship game is presented by the West Virginia Coal Association, committed to clean energy, your job, and a better quality of life for all West Virginians. By Suddenlink, it's as easy as counting to 1. For details, log on to suddenlink.com. By the University of Charleston, and by the Affiliated Construction Trades Foundation. If you work for a living, we're working for you.
A hot shooting Hallie Gano has given her Summers County team a 3-point lead, 15-12 in the early going of the AA championship game.
She's been very, very impressive. So much on the line for Wayne County's Summers County Bobcats. And we mentioned the undefeated season never happened before. Andy's going for something here this afternoon that's only happened one other time. That's 3 straight state AA state championships. The only other team to ever do that, Tucker County, 96, 97, 98, when David Kyle was the head coach of that fine program. So, again, a lot on the line that Wayne Ryan would like to accomplish, and certainly David Ray of Lincoln saying, you got a tough team to play, and they're proving that right now.
And before they won 2 in a row, they were in that championship game and lost the championship game, so they were close that year. They've really become a dominant force, not only in AA basketball, but just in basketball in general in the state of West Virginia.
You're right, and he has really, really toughened up his schedule this year, played several AAA ball clubs.
Estes with the roll on the assist from Gano. 17-12. And a turnover for Lincoln. Watch out here, Lincoln.
And this relentless pace that Summers County plays causes those types of turnovers. When you look at it, you get both teams on the floor, but Summers County will come out of there with it. Emily Blevins calls the first turnover, then came all the way around the backside to get the ball.
Blevins' right-hand scoop, no good. And rebound is Parsons. Parsons kicks it to the outside for Holcomb. Lincoln County will set it up into McIntyre. Over the back is Estes. That's 2 on Lauren Estes. Just a push there, so not a shooting situation. Now Hannah Gano will check in, and Estes will sit down. The depth advantage obviously going to Summers County today. Lincoln does not go deep.
No, David Ray stays with his top 6 for the most part of the game, but as we mentioned, Summers County has a starting 7 and then some.
Blevins stops. Over to Mack. Good.
Each player so confident in their shot, and they know where they want to shoot from on the floor. They get in their position, they get them the ball, and they take the shot.
Bree Flanagan gets it to Holcomb. Holcomb nearly carries the ball up with the shot and draws the foul. Foul's going to be on Blevins. So Holcomb splitting the defense and taking it to the basket. Picks up the foul of the free throw line. She's a 77% free throw shooter. We mentioned she had 20 so far in the tournament, 26 points, 10 of 17 shooting. Has shot well, obviously, in this tournament and gets the roll here on the free throw. Substitution as Kim Cox comes in. And Mickelson.
I mentioned Chelsea Holcomb, the only young lady that was in the starting lineup in last year's championship game for Lincoln. For Summers County, Emily Blevins and Ashley Brown were the two starters that Wayne Ryan returns to this year's championship game.
19-14 Summers County quickly down the court, and they find a streaking Hallie Gano open for the easy two. Now pressure on the other end and a held basketball. This is what David Ray worries about. They get an easy two, then it's pressure, then the ball is turned over. You're down 21-14, and things start to happen pretty quickly here.
You see a basket fall by the other team, your natural instinct, jump out of bounds and throw it inbounds to one of your players, but all of a sudden there's Summers County because they don't retreat to the other end.
Now Holcomb will run the other way. Doesn't have the help. Tries to take it herself. Charges into Gano and, in fact, picks up the charge.
Chelsea Holcomb again wanting to cause something to happen. Boy, great job by Hallie Gano to stand in there and take the charge. You could see it coming, but she did not move. Turnover against Lincoln.
21-14, Summers County leads Lincoln. 6 minutes left to go in the second quarter of the AA championship. Summers County trying to complete a dream season. Want to go 28-0 and win their third straight title. Lincoln wants to pull the upset. They did not play during the regular season.
The speed in which Summers County plays this game, sometimes that entices the other team to play at the same speed when that's not their game. And that's what's happening to Lincoln. Lincoln needs to slow it down a little bit, get back in control of their offense. They are hurrying things and causing turnovers on themselves. Unforced errors has been the killer so far and the reason for the 7-point Summers County lead.
Well, you saw David Ray. I think he was saying that, Fred. Settle down, get it down, run your offense, run some time, do what you want to do. Don't let Summers County dictate the tempo of the game, which so far they've been able to do.
You're right. As we talked in the first quarter, they waited on Rachel McIntyre to get into the offensive picture. They haven't been doing that.
Holcomb with the steal and the block.
Nice overplay that time in the passing lane by Chelsea Holcomb. 5'5" senior has 7 points.
21-16, 5-point lead for Summers County over Lincoln. 5:32 to go. Second quarter AA championship. Single A championship decided earlier. Huntington St. Joe wins their first single A title. Off the dribble. No good for Hallie Gano. Presley Parsons picks up the dribble. Gets it over to Lane. Lane splits the defense. And again, though, Lincoln, and I know the pressure's there from Summers County, just a little bit out of control.
They are indeed. And the one thing we haven't touched too much on, the fact that this Summers County team is a very big ball club for AA. A lot of tall young ladies, a lot of long arms reaching and slapping at the basketball. And again, something you hit on earlier, Hop. He continues to rotate players in and out, keeping fresh legs on the floor.
And here's a problem for Coach David Ray. Chelsea Holcomb picks up her 3rd personal foul.
And Holcomb has to be on the floor for the Cougars to be successful.
Hallie Gano, first trip to the free throw line tonight. And she has 9 points so far. So Coach Ray looks like he's going to keep Holcomb out there. Is that the plan, Fred?
Well, she is a senior. Sometimes you just have to play through it. We've seen it in a couple of other games in this tournament where if that's your leader, they have to say, hey, you know, you've got 3, but you got to play a little smarter. And usually those seniors that have been through the wars before know exactly how to do that. But regardless, if you're David Ray, you're taking a chance on leaving that youngster in the ball game.
And Wayne Ryan is really, now we know he rotates a lot of people in and out. I think he might even be doing it a little bit more today because of the situation with the lack of depth by Lincoln.
That and the fact I think he likes this chemistry that he's found, this rotation. I think all of his kids have come and are ready to play basketball here this afternoon. They know what's at stake, just like the head coach does.
Holcomb grabbed the ball Did call the timeout as she was going out of bounds and saved it from the turnover. So when we come back, it'll be Lincoln basketball, where they trail by 4 to Summers County.
The cops are coming. How'd you beer?
Aw, man, we're busted.
May I see your driver's license, registration, and proof of insurance? Is that a beer on the floor? Step on out of the car, boys. You'll be going with me to the station. We're going to notify your parents, and you're each being charged with underage consumption.
Think before you drink.
As a team, don't risk it.
Underage drinking is not a minor problem. 21 means 21.
If you or someone you know is in the 11th grade, the opportunity of a lifetime is here. West Virginia Wesleyan and Metro News are teaming up to give away a 4-year scholarship worth more than $90,000. Go to wvmetronews.com for details and to apply. The deadline is May 10th. This once-in-a-lifetime opportunity is presented by Energize West Virginia with Natural Gas, West Virginia Healthcare Association, the West Virginia Directors of Senior and Community Services, Friends of Coal, and by Metro News. The Lincoln Cougars find themselves in a bit of an early jam. 4:37 left to go in the second quarter. Fred Persinger down by 8, 24-16, but their leader has trouble.
Chelsea Holcomb still on the floor with 3 personal fouls. How important is this kid to this Lincoln team? We told you that Chelsea Holcomb was the only starter returning from last year's championship game. In that championship game last year, even though it was a loss to Summers County, she scored 12 points and played 31 of the 32 minutes. So head coach David Ray says, hey, she's been through it before. I think she's smart enough to stay out of foul trouble. At least that's what he's hoping, because he needs her on the floor.
Mack steals the basketball, goes down, and the foul is on Holcomb, and that's going to be number 4 on Chelsea Holcomb.
And David Ray just leaned back into his seat, and she was just instinct. Pass came in, knocked loose by Summers County, and the reach-in foul is called on Chelsea Holcomb.
So Holcomb takes a seat, plops down on the end of the bench, grabs her sweat in disappointment.
And that's not a happy look on that young lady's face. You know she wants to be out on that floor.
Well, it's a shame because you play so hard and so long to get to the championship game and then get in some foul trouble.
Just in utter disbelief.
Mack hits them both. She has 9. 10-point lead, largest of the day for Summers County. Lincoln must now find a way to hang in there without their senior leader over the next 4 minutes and 27 seconds, get to halftime, and figure that Holcomb will regroup and start the second half in all likelihood.
And in all likelihood, the young lady that leadership is going to fall on is a freshman, a 9th grader, Presley Parsons. She's the young lady that's probably going to handle that point position now that Chelsea Holcomb is on the bench.
Wesley Mack off the front of the rim. Rebound Blevins, and Emily Blevins has her first 2. 12-point lead for Summers County. Foul is called against Hallie Gano. She picks up her first. That's team foul number 6.
Nice block, nice charge taken there by Madeline Napier. The juniors saw her coming and just took the charge.
Takes a lot of nerve to stand there when somebody's steaming toward you like that.
Nerve is one thing. And
McIntyre too high. McIntyre started strong with 8 points. Since then has gone quiet.
Yeah, she's not scored in the second period. All of her points came early. But again, in all fairness to Rachel McIntyre, they really haven't been getting her the ball inside.
Gano, Hallie Gano, 11 points. Had a great first half here so far. 30-16. Biggest lead for Summers County. Lincoln County player goes down. That's Lane that goes down. It's going to be a turnover for Lincoln County. And Coach David Ray. Lincoln, I'm sorry. It's the second time I've said Lincoln County. I know it's Lincoln from Shinston. My apologies.
Lincoln County from down in Hamlin, West Virginia, AAA ball club.
Wow.
And right there we see that height advantage for Summers County. You know, you got Rachel McIntyre for Lincoln, but when you start looking at Summers County, I mean, they have a 5'10" Hallie Gano. They have a 6'1" Emily Blevins, a 5'10" Leslie Mack, 5'11" Lauren Estes, 5'11" Hannah Gano, 6 foot Kim Cox. They're all outstanding players and great talent.
Leslie Mack, no spin on the ball, doesn't matter. Had perfect aim for 3, and she has 12 points. 33-16, Summers County pulling away in the first half. So far for Lincoln, no answer at the other end.
Emily Blevins sandwiched in between that double team, got the rebound, but then fell out of bounds with it, so the ball will stay with the Lincoln Cougars.
Flanagan checks back in as Napier goes out. Fred, give me a plan here for Lincoln.
Try to convince the officials they can take back 2 fouls from Chelsea Holcomb and get her back in the game. Here's the problem for David Ray. She has 4 personal fouls. He probably won't start the 3rd quarter with her. Sometimes you say, well, we'll set you down the rest of the half and save you, but now he still has 2 quarters of basketball plus to get through with his point guard and his senior leader on the bench with 4. So right now he's got to find some way to get that ball inside to Rachel McIntyre and let her work her magic inside. Rachel McIntyre, if she gets her hands on the ball, she's either going to score or she's going to do like she did in that situation and draw the foul and go to the free throw line. That has to be the offense right now for David Ray's Cougars.
Foul is on Kim Cox, and Rachel McIntyre for Lincoln at the free throw line for the first time today. This is the front end. What would have been the bonus. Brown the other way. Gano has had a hot hand in the first half, misses, 2 short. Brown is fouled hard. Ashley Brown rocked and will go to the free throw line.
Rachel McIntyre going to pick up the personal foul. Inside, the rebound fought for, and then Brown comes down with it, and Rachel McIntyre says not in this side of the house.
Brown has yet to score in the ball game. 5'8" junior guard, had 5 points and 5 rebounds in the Ravenswood win yesterday in the semifinals.
Averaged 10 points on the season, 60% free throw shooter, but misses both here.
Coach Wayne Ryan calls her his most improved player from last year, which is saying something if you play for Summers County.
You're right.
Parsons with the pass and the assist. Give Parsons the assist and the bucket to Brooks. Good looking offensive set that time for Lincoln.
It was again, and that was the 5'6" freshman Presley Parsons running the point in place of Chelsea Holcomb.
Well, it's state championship, Fred, and somebody, this is where you make a name for yourself. So maybe somebody will step up here for Lincoln.
And that's what has to happen in this ball game, particularly with Chelsea Holcomb on the bench. But when you look and get Presley Parsons the ball, heads up play, nice look pass between 2 defenders, beautifully thrown, and then Brenna Brooks completes the 2-point play.
And if you look in the huddle of Wayne Ryan and Summers County, you'd think they were down 15. He's giving them a hard time. I do not think he liked that last set defensively.
He does not coach by game or by quarter. He coaches by play. You make a great play, he lets you know about it. You make a mistake, or you make a mistake on defense and you let down a little bit, he wants you to know about that too. He knows that the game is made up of all of the little plays, and he doesn't like mistakes.
Well, with as deep as he goes, you know that if you're not doing what he wants, you're going to be out there pretty quickly. He substitutes like Bob Huggins substitutes.
A lot of young ladies over there wearing that Bobcat uniform that wants to play.
Parsons on the jumper, banks it in. Freshman guard gets 2. So Presley Parsons, the freshman, has to pick up some of the slack here for Lincoln. Basketball will stay with Lincoln. 1:56 left to go in the first half. 33-20, Summers County.
McIntyre and Flanagan fighting for that rebound, and it went off the fingertips of Bree Flanagan.
Mack off the dribble. Tough shot, picks up the foul. Foul's going to be on Brooks. That's her second. That will send Mack back to the free throw line. And Mack has 12 points so far in this first half. She'll be back next year, just a sophomore.
Second shot for Mack.
Coach Wayne Ryan calls her instant offense when she's in there. She does not get a lot of rotation on the ball, but she's got pretty good aim.
How about this for Summers County? They're starting 7. 4 of them will be back next year. It's a program that is in place at Hinton, West Virginia.
Bree Flanagan knocks down the 3. The senior forward on the board for the first time in this ball game. 35-22.
Last basket by Flanagan was a 2.
Nice job the last time down the floor. Positioned herself in the corner, and Bree Flanagan knocked it down for the Lincoln Cougars.
Did they change that to a 2? Called that a 2.
They did call it a 2.
So they one official stepped in and said no, had her foot on the line. 35-22 entry pass to Mack. Ball gets away and belongs to Summers County.
Good job down inside though on that last set for Rachel McIntyre. Even though she really didn't block the shot or anything, she caused it to be changed, and that's why the shot was missed from point blank range by Summers County.
Mack. Boy, Mack is not shy today.
That's a 3.
17 first half points. I got to ready for 17.
No, but that's okay.
What do you have?
I may have missed her for a couple.
Now the ball is stolen on the other end by the Bobcats, and the foul is committed by Lincoln.
Reach-in foul is going to be called on the Cougars' Bree Flanagan. Well, the one thing that David Ray has to be a little concerned about, he does not go certainly as deep as Wayne Ryan does. And all of a sudden you're seeing his kids getting a little tired, and still with 1:03 left, he doesn't have the luxury of bringing in fresh legs as much as he would like to.
Hallie Gano at the free throw line. She has 11 points so far this first half.
23, Candace Brown.
Candace Brown comes in. Kim Cox sits down. Short on both of those. And you ask, where does Wayne Ryan get all these players? Well, the JV team in Summers County this year, Fred, was undefeated.
Well, and again, that goes back to what we talked about before. It's not a team. It's a program. Everyone that plays girls basketball in Summers County wants to play for Wayne Ryan and the Summers County Lady Bobcats. But that goes back to when it was Hinton High School before the consolidations with Talcott High and things like that. They all wanted to play for that program because this program's been around for a while, and it has always been very, very successful.
Third time today that they've tried to get it in to McIntyre and gone too high, out of bounds. 38-22 Summers County over Lincoln. 45 seconds left to go in the first half of the AA championship game.
Now this is the 18th time Hinton/Summers County's been to the state tournament. So it's not like, you know, this is just something that has happened in the last couple of years. It's been a program for a long time.
Ball stolen away. Out to Parsons. Parsons works on Brown. Goes up with the left hand. Too strong there for the putback. No good. And on the line with the ball, travel is called, and the ball will stay with Lincoln. In the other way, it was Parsons with the left hand on the putback with Brooks. Blevins went down
and rolled out of bounds just enough to keep the ball in the possession of Lincoln.
22 seconds left on the first half clock. Holcomb is back in the game, by the way, with 4 fouls. Other way, Brown. Off the dribble, Gano got too far into the basket. Held ball. It will stay with Summers County. What do you think of the decision to have Holcomb back in there with 4 fouls?
Well, I think he cannot let it get any farther than it is. 15, 16-point leads. If he goes down by more than that, and now I think it's a smart move with only 8.8 seconds left to get her out of the game. You certainly don't want her to pick up a foul now and be gone.
Brown's going to have to launch it. Good if it goes. Short. And the end of the first half of the AA championship game between the Summers County Lady Bobcats, the defending 2-time champions, against the Lincoln Cougars. And the first half has been dominated by Summers County.
No question about it. They outscored them 23-10 in that second quarter to take this halftime lead.
Halftime lead belongs to Summers County, 38-22. We'll return to the Charleston Civic Center in a AA championship game right after this.
Learn, live, and experience. Marshall University.
In the girls' AA championship game at the Charleston Civic Center, Summers County leads Lincoln 38-22. Back at the Civic Center, along with Fred Persinger, I'm Hoppy Kercheval. Coach Wayne Ryan wasn't happy with the first half performances in the first 2 games in this tournament. I think he's going to be pleased with how things went in this first half of the championship game, Fred.
I think you're right. In particular, he wasn't really happy in the quarterfinal round game. Got a real slow start in the first quarter in the semifinal game on Friday against Ravenswood. But here today, I mean, he has just utilized all of that starting 7 and went ahead and got a couple of more players into the ball game. They played extremely well and right now have a very nice lead over a very good Lincoln ball club.
Now, a lot of weapons for Summers County, and for Lincoln, problems because Chelsea Holcomb has 4 fouls.
Yes, she does, and she can't. You can't put her right back into the lineup because as aggressive as that young lady plays, he's afraid she's going to get the 5th foul, and then she's gone for the rest of the game. And then what do? You have to rely on the Presley Parsons, who's the freshman. I thought she did a pretty good job, though, when she played those last few minutes with Holcomb on the bench.
Still 1 half to play to decide the AA champion. Will it be Summers County or Lincoln? Right now, Summers County is the upper hand, 38-22. We'll return to the Charleston Civic Center in a moment. At the half, Summers County leads Lincoln 38-22 here in the AA championship at the Charleston Civic Center. Along with Fred Persinger, I'm Hoppy Kercheval. The way this game started was back and forth, 1-point game, back and forth, and a good start for Lincoln's Rachel McIntyre, Fred.
Great start for Rachel McIntyre, and that's what they needed to go inside to the young lady that can really get the job done for them. Great soft touch and very, very smart in the basketball floor. Wasn't going to take a chance with the walk. Got the 1 dribble in. Then the next time they came down, Chelsea Holcomb's why she's so important. Pulled up the little 13-footer from the right side of the lane. And then they've got some good looks, as we talked about, from the freshman Presley Parsons. A little look in front of the glass, and she scores. So there's 3 young ladies that's very important to them. Boy, for Summers County, you've got to look all over the floor to find someone that's not important. Hallie Gano, she had a great first half. You expect that from her. No question, Leslie Mack, she's not afraid of where that line is on the floor. She'll shoot from the locker room if they give her the ball. So there's so much talent on both these ball clubs. But right now, a big part of that talent, Hop, is certainly on the bench with 4 personal fouls in the face of Chelsea Holcomb.
Absolutely. And Leslie Mack, you talked about her. 5 of 9 shooting in the first half, 17 points, and she didn't even start in this game. But as you said, Fred, Coach Wayne Ryan says, look, I really have 7 starters. They just kind of come in and out. All right, let's look at some of the numbers here in the first half. And what do you make of those numbers
Well,
so far.
You can see the shooting stats are very close when you look at field goal percentages, but the key thing you have to look at is the fact that Summers County's had 37 shots on goal, while Lincoln's only had 26 shots on goal. Free throws certainly in the favor of Summers County, but the way they play defense, they're going to go to the free throw line a lot more because of the slapping and the reaching that goes on. Rebounds a little surprising that Lincoln High School will have out-rebounded them by 2 in the first half, particularly with all the size that Summers County has. And then the turnover situation, you expect that with, again, the style of play that Summers County plays. They force a lot of turnovers.
24 turnovers for Lincoln in that first half. So Lincoln will regroup. See if those Cougars can get their heads back in this game. We'll return.
Amy had an active life. She loved to play tennis. After graduating from high school, she dreamed of becoming a singer. On her way to audition at the Juilliard School of Music, her dreams were shattered. She was struck by a teen drunk driver. Now she must live the rest of her life suffering from someone else's careless decision. If you're going to party and you're going to drive, remember, it's not all about you.
Underage drinking is not a minor problem. 21 means 21.
Ready for the second half of the AA championship game between Summers County and Lincoln. Summers County in the lead, 38-22. Leading scorers so far in the ball game, McIntyre for Lincoln with 8 points, 4 of 5 shooting, but most of those were early in the first half.
Emily Blevins was a young lady we talked about that really needed to get on track. Had a great quarterfinal round game. Fell off to 7 points in the semifinal win on Friday night. But then here today, she's only scored 2 points. 1 of 5 shooting from the floor. 0 of 1 from 3-point.
But Leslie Mack has 17.
Yeah, points off the bench, 17 for Summers County, only 2 for Lincoln, but all 17 have come from one player, and that's Leslie Mack, who did not start this game.
Summers County with the lead, 38-22, and the basketball as the second half gets underway into Blevins. Rebound, fought for. And we're going to get a hell or a foul. Foul is called.
How serious is this game to David Ray? Chelsea Holcomb has started the third quarter with 4 personal fouls. He feels he has to have his leader on the floor.
Flanagan picked up the foul, and that's her third. Halligano short, and Halligano gets whacked on the wrist. So Halligano, who had 9 points in the first half, went to the free throw line.
Rachel McIntyre picks up the foul. I'm confident that David Ray has told Chelsea Holcomb, I don't need you out there to play defense, because that's where you pick up your fouls 90% of the time. I need you out there to lead this offense. So you won't see, I don't think, Chelsea Holcomb really in too many of those close-in battles for rebounds and going after loose basketballs or trying to block shots.
Hallie makes 1 of 2. And again, if you're just joining us, you will see 2 young ladies for Summers County look a lot alike because twin sisters, Hallie and Hannah Gano. Holcomb comes in with those 4 fouls, immediately takes the ball to the hole and gets 2 points for Lincoln. On the other end, Hallie Gano with 2. 39-24, Summers County. Ball gets away, but will stay with Summers County.
Going right back, the same type of basketball that's how they know how to play. Diving after every ball, going after every loose basketball, going after every bounce.
This is a rematch of the championship game last year that was won by Summers County, 80-47. McIntyre with her 10th point, 41-26. That's how Lincoln started this ball game. They go back inside to Emily Blevins for 2. 43-26. Lincoln will not be able to trade baskets, obviously. They need more than that. Other way, Blevins, too strong for Hannah Gano.
They got an opportunity after the Lincoln turnover, but could not cash in on it.
Fred, how good do you think Summers County is? You've seen a lot of basketball this week. You've seen them against AAA. You know about they play AAA competition this year. Your thoughts?
Well, they're an outstanding basketball team, and it's so tough to say, well, you couldn't beat this team unless you play that team. You never know what could happen. I don't think that Summers County could get off to some of the slow starts they have this week against some of the AAA teams that I've seen in this year's girls state tournament. But I don't think there's any question. Summers County can compete with anyone. And if you go back and look at their schedule this year, Wayne Ryan toughened it up. He played a lot of AAA ball clubs. I thought Princeton was one of the better AAA teams in this state. And Wayne Ryan beat them twice during the regular season. So there's no question. No question. Summers County can compete on any level, and they can be very, very proud if they hold on here and get this win and finish this season with a perfect undefeated season and another state title. They're very, very talented.
Their seniors, Blevins, Estes, and Cox, have a combined record with the tournament here, as Holcomb gets the roll, of 103-8.
Not bad.
Blevins responds on the other end.
And like you said, Bill Hop, they can't trade baskets. It's not at that point. They have just got to get some stops. And right now, Summers County is just so quick the way they run their offense. It is tough to get back down the floor to get set up in order to get those stops.
Stolen away. Brown takes it. Brown goes down, works on Parsons, gets the bucket, and picks up the foul. Ashley Brown. Fouls on Parsons.
After the steal, Ashley Brown drives in, takes it strong, and the freshman Presley Parsons comes across the arm and picks up the foul. And Ashley Brown will have an opportunity to complete the conventional three-point play. They just do so many things well. Free throw shooting, rebounding, defense.
They're going to call a charge on that. So the charge leveled against Lincoln, against Melissa Lane. It's going to be her third. And it's just tough for Lincoln to find anything going their way right now. And again, back to Summers County, they don't have a lot of obvious weaknesses. Now, we saw a couple of games here in this tournament where they didn't play as well as they could have, and that was primarily because they weren't shooting real well. But they were doing the other things well, the defense, and they were being very aggressive, and the press, and that was good enough to have them even with the teams they were playing. Then once the shots started to fall inevitably, then they pulled away.
We have timeout, Summers County.
Timeout, Summers County. So what does Wayne Ryan want to talk about here? Up by 20 points. We'll find out when we return. 5:14 left to go in the third, and the Bobcats up by 20.
The University of Charleston, the #1 baccalaureate university in West Virginia in 2009, according to U.S. News and World Report, is on the move. Pursue degrees in areas of arts and sciences, business, or health sciences. Don't forget about graduate offerings such as the UC School of Pharmacy or the Downtown Graduate School of Business. High school students, don't miss Preview Day on April 25th. It's a great time to get a first look at UC, meet students and faculty members, tour the campus and residence halls. Register at www.ucwv.edu or contact the admissions office.
Well, Summers County in control. They are at the state tournament, Fred, for the 18th time. They've won 6 state championships already, and Wayne Ryan wants to add another one to that. Coaching in his 14th year, and he's relentless.
Well, there's no question. I mean, they had a couple of those state titles when it was the Hinton High School, but as we mentioned, 1994, they opened up the new school after the consolidation of Hinton and Talcott and Sandstone and a couple of smaller schools in Forest Hill and Lincoln. And again, they've just continued that tradition year after year after year. They don't start thinking basketball at Summers County in November. That is a year in, year out, all day type of deal where they're always doing something, whether it's AAU or whatever. These young ladies are maybe on a playground somewhere, but they're always playing ball, and that's how programs are built, and Wayne Ryan has been a huge part of that.
Just too many opportunities for the Bobcats as Blevin gets her 8 points. 50-28. And Lincoln is worn down. Parsons for three. Off the front of the rim. Rebound taken by Brown. It's a mix-up underneath. A tie-up, I should say. And some frustration.
Down underneath, and again, young lady going down, and they'll call the foul on the Bobcats. Hannah Gano. She's going to come out and get a few moments on the bench over there. Tried to explain to assistant coach Doug Trail exactly what happened.
Parsons, ball gets away from her, and foul. Fouls on Ashley Brown. Her first team foul number 2. Presley Parsons, the freshman guard, who's had to pick up more responsibility here today because of the foul trouble with Holcomb, although Holcomb is staying in there with those 4 fouls.
Started the third quarter and is still there.
Parsons, a 41% free throw shooter, makes the first. She had 12 points and 3 rebounds in the win over Berkeley Springs in the quarterfinals. And 2 of 2. 20-point lead for Summers County. 4:20 left to go in the third quarter. Quickly down is Summers County, and Emily Blevins is there with her 10th point. The Summers County faithful have a chant now, and it goes like this, just like last year. Isn't that what they're saying?
That's what they're saying.
3 points for Holcomb. She has 15, so Holcomb has not cashed in.
Oh, this Lincoln team will not cash in. They trail by 19, but they believe. Rachel McIntyre just picked up a personal foul.
That's going to be McIntyre's 4th.
Tried to get the block on the baseline and leaned a little bit. As Leslie Mack drove the line. David Ray, I think, is frustrated as his ball club.
Well, he had to know coming in here today that he had to play a near perfect ball game.
Spoke with him last night as he was watching Summers County win in their semifinal game over Ravenswood, and he and I were seated upstairs here in the Civic Center talking about it, and he admitted as much. We have to play almost a perfect game. Hope they don't play a perfect game. He was thinking, though, you know, if they come out to a slow start like they did against Oak Glen in the first round, and in a similar slow start in the first half against Ravenswood, he said, then I think I have enough talent to really be in the ball game. Well, Summers County did not come out in that slow start, and they scored 23 points in quarter number 2 to really get this lead up to where it's been most of the game.
Blevins with 10 third quarter points. Fred featured her in the outset of the game, and she was quiet in the first half with just 2, but she's chipped in 10 here so far in the second half.
She's a senior. She knows how to play. She knows what's expected of her. Again, as we mentioned, she was runner-up to Whitney Bayes of Huntington for the West Virginia State Player of the Year. So she's a very talented young lady.
Holcomb at the free throw line.
It's another very talented young lady. I think I'm more impressed with Chelsea Holcomb, not with the points she's scoring, with the way she stayed away from that 5th foul.
$17 points for Chelsea Holcomb. 54-35, 19-point lead for Summers County. Into Mack, double dribble. You know, Coach Ryan said that Mack was a shooter, and that's evidenced by the fact that if she's got a little space,
she's going to launch.
It's going to go. But obviously, Wayne Ryan has a lot of people with the green light. I mean, that's the kind of game he runs, I think. Way outside is Holcomb, and Holcomb has heated up here in this third quarter. She has 20 points. 54-38. A little run here by Lincoln.
The only way that Holcomb's changed her game up, she's not playing defense the way she normally does. That's where she would pick up that foul. She's just staying away from that.
Well, she has to. Now it's stolen by Hallie Gano. Hallie Gano is going to get a freebie. 14 for the sophomore guard. Ball gets away from Lincoln. And the Bobcats will come the other way with the basketball and the lead. 56-38, 2:40 to go in the third of the AA championship game.
That time Chelsea Holcomb met the radio broadcaster Travis Jones up close and personal. She dove after that loose basketball.
Mack. Rebound. Blevins has it partially blocked, but the foul is committed by Lincoln. That was Lane committing the foul, and that's going to be her fourth. So you have Holcomb with 4, Lane with 4, McIntyre with 4. That's 3 of their starters with 4 fouls. And 2:33 left to go in the third. One of 2 for Blevins. Also, Wayne Ryan sends this program, though a AA program, sends players to the next level. He has, what, 6 players playing at the collegiate level now?
He does, and of course, Concord University's been the recipient of a lot of those players, but through the years, he's seen kids go to other programs, out-of-state programs, and again, when college coaches get the kids from Summers County, they know they're getting a well-coached basketball player.
Brown off the front of the rim, and Blevins was there for the rebound, went over the back. They'll call her on the foul. 22-point lead for Summers County, their biggest lead of this ball game. 2:11 to go in the third quarter.
One of the interesting things, though, when you look at these coaches, it would be hard to really tell which coach had the 22-point lead. Does it look like him? I'm not sure. He's in that coaching mode right now. David Ray in that thinking mode as to what do I need to do. But it'd be tough to say which one, just by looking at them, had the 22-point lead.
Stolen away by Hallie Gano. Hallie has it stolen back, and then she gets it back and over to Cox. Shot won't go, and a flurry of action, and we got a foul. Foul was on Marissa Lane, and that's it. Marissa Lane, the senior forward, who averaged 11 points during the season, did not score in this game, so a disappointing exit for a fine senior for the Lincoln Cougars. That's tough.
That is tough. Having played her last game, she gets consoled by her head coach David Ray, and
she had a great tournament up to this point. She had 10 points and 9 rebounds in the win over Sissonville, 21 points and 9 rebounds in the win over Berkeley Springs.
It is tough today, but she will look back on this season and know how special it has been for her Cougars. 23-2 coming into this game this afternoon.
Holcomb is fouled. Foul will be on Kim Cox. So Holcomb will go to the line. And Holcomb has 20 points. The story, one of the stories of this game was she picked up 4 fouls in the first half. Sat down for a while, came back in later in the first half, and has played the entire second half with 4 fouls, and has stayed out of trouble and has added a lot of offense. In fact, she scored 13 points in this third quarter.
Yeah, I was a little apprehensive when David Ray started her, but she's played very smart. Again, as we've mentioned, she stayed out of that defensive battle on the defensive end of the floor and just played offense.
Leslie Mack with her 22nd point to lead all scorers here today. In the scrum, and the held ball goes to Summers County.
You know these players are tired. Third game in the last 3 days because the AA teams played on Thursday of this state tournament. So the third game in 3 days for these two ball clubs. They're still diving on the floor, going after the loose balls, playing hard.
Reach-in foul.
Whistles on offense, 23, Candace Brown.
Foul was on Candace Brown. That's her first. And still not in the bonus. So Lincoln will have the basketball. Now Gano is over the back.
Yeah, timeout called by Lincoln.
I'm sorry, that was a timeout. Thought there was a foul committed there. So Lincoln calls a timeout. Coach Dave Ray sort things out. So Fred, we have 1:15 left to go in the third. Summers County leads Lincoln 63-39. Last year when they met, Summers won 80-47. And this is a dominant program. What are you going to say? I'm not sure there's any AA team that could beat Summers County on any given day at any given time this season.
Well, no, and they've proven that by all of the AA teams they played. And when you look at their schedule, they played several AAA teams. They did have a smattering of some single A teams in there just because of the region they're in. They played in the Mountain State Coal Classic. They won that tournament, beating two AAA teams. They beat George Washington. They beat Greenbrier East in that tournament. So they've proven, regardless of who they're playing, that you better come ready to play. And so far, no one has been able to take it to them. The closest time they came to losing was to AAA Princeton.
Cox over to Mack. Oh, missed it and got it back. He was wide open. She has 24 points. And Fred, it's not just how they play, but their talent level. They have good talent. I mean, lots of times you see teams and you say, okay, they have 2 or 3 really good players and have some role players. He truly is 7 or 8 players deep.
This is what else he is. He has a great assistant coaching staff. And when you look at that bench, he has more assistant coaches than Bob Huggins does at West Virginia University. A lot of that is volunteer, of course. But what they also know, you talk to Wayne Ryan and he'll say, hey, there's a 6th grader playing at the elementary school in Hinton that's going to be a player. They know that, and they get those kids into the program, and that's why they're so successful, going after their 3rd straight Class AA title. And again, the only other team to ever do that is Tucker County.
Well, in the coach's information that they submit before the tournament, Ryan said he's very proud of their feeder program at Summers Middle School, coached by Laura Rawlison-Howe, Rick Shrewsbury, and Beth Isaac. So he's getting the coaches' names of the middle school in there from the feeder program.
Well, Laura Rawlison-Howe is the young lady that's seated on the bench on the far side of the floor right now. And you might remember this, Hop. It was last year that Laura Rollison, who played ball at Summers County at Hinton High School, she was proposed to on this floor here at the Charleston Civic Center Coliseum after the championship game. So again, it's all about programs, and there's Laura now, and she's got the look of the coach, and her husband is very supportive of the fact that she spends an awful lot of time with not only the middle school team but with this high school team. And again, it's a young lady that has just dedicated herself, much like Wayne Ryan and Doug Trail and Ricky Shrewsbury and all of the other assistant coaches, to this program at Summers County High School.
Holcomb shot bounces off, but Lincoln gets the ball back. Holcomb now for 3. Short. Tie up with 11 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter.
2 Cougars and a Bobcat on the floor,
wrestling
fighting
around
for the ball.
Yeah. Possession arrow favors Lincoln. Tried to get it into McIntyre. Skipped away, but Lincoln retains possession. Parsons gets a little space, has a shot blocked. No, foul on Candace Brown. So Presley Parsons will go back to the free throw line with 5.3 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Substitutions preparing here for Summers County, as Hallie Gano is going to come back in. Parsons good on the first one. Blevins in for Cox.
You know, we talked about Laura Rollison Howe, member of the all-tournament team here in Charleston in 1996 and in 1997. Her team did not make it to the championship round that year. But they were here.
Well, Leslie Mack has that spot just zeroed in. 26 points for the sophomore guard. She averages 15 a game. She has 26 after 3 quarters to lead the Summers County Bobcats, and they are 1 quarter away from their 3rd consecutive AA state championship. That's coming up.
Prevailing wage is a common wage that a construction worker is supposed to make. I'm Josh Toyas, sheet metal worker, Local 33, and I'm a strong believer in the prevailing wage laws for the state of West Virginia. Prevailing wage is a great tool that leads to better quality and safer work sites. Prevailing wage works for business, workers, and taxpayers, and they're paying for a job well done in a timely manner. With prevailing wage, we all win.
This 2009 West Virginia State High School Basketball Championship game is presented by Potomac State College of West Virginia University. Visit online at potomacstate.edu. By the Governor's Partnership to Promote Community Well-Being, the state's substance abuse planning body. And by Marshall University.
Summers County 1 quarter away from winning their 3rd consecutive AA championship. Dominance in AA. They lead Lincoln 67-43 as quarter number 4 gets underway. Emily Blevins on the baseline. Gets her own rebound. Up. No good on the second try. Kicked out of there, and foul call. And we're in the bonus here, so we're going to spend some time at the free throw line as well.
Lauren Estes picks up the personal foul for Summers County. Bobcats have gotten stronger as this game's gone along. 15 points in the first quarter, 23 in the second. They scored 29 in that 3rd quarter.
Flanagan at the free throw line, senior forward. 2 points so far today. This is the front end of the 1-and-1. The other way is Hallie Gano. She has 16. Summers County's made it look a little too easy today. Now they get the steal on the other end. Hallie Gano again. Back-to-back buckets for the sophomore. She might want to share a few of those with her sister, Hannah.
Trying to hold down the fussing on the floor, aren't you?
Another steal. Taken back by Lincoln. All alone is Holcomb, and she'll get the easy 2 with the left hand. Holcomb has 23. 71-45 Summers County. Blevins for 3. She has 16 points. 74-45. Looking a lot like last year's championship game as Blevins reaches in, commits her 4th foul.
That did not make Wayne Ryan happy. You know, we've talked about this explosive offense that Summers County has, and they have 74 points in this ball game with 6:47 remaining. 5 times this year they went over the century mark, including 104 points scored in the first round of their sectional tournament. So you get a girls high school basketball team in 32 minutes scoring over 100 points. That's a lot of offense.
Yeah. Well, and they get some easy ones because they do such a great job of stealing the basketball with their pressure defense. They run the court well. So, as I just said,
they run the court well. They get the rebound. They know where the outlet pass goes. There's someone there. That person knows where to hit the cutter, and they're off to the races.
Holcomb. Shot is up and good.
She was afraid it was going to be a foul on her. She looked at the official like, okay, come on, it's a block, it's a block.
So Holcomb has 25 points, and amazingly has gotten almost all those with 4 fouls. Completes the conventional 3-point play, 26 points. 76-49 Summers County.
She has indeed picked up 20 of her 26 points after picking up that 4th personal foul.
Amazing performance by Chelsea Holcomb.
Fouls on number 12, Ali Gano.
Fouls on Gano,
14.
her 2nd. You'll see, too, as this 4th quarter evolves, Coach Wayne Ryan, despite this huge lead, will continue to press. And he's asked about that continually, and he says, well, that's what I do. I press. I don't know anything else. That's how we play defense. So he just presses the whole game.
That's his philosophy. He practices that way. He plays that way.
Holcomb, 3-on-1 behind the back pass. Can't quite finish the play, but give credit to Holcomb on a beautiful pass there.
I wanted that to go so bad just because that was such a beautiful, beautiful play by Chelsea Holcomb. She comes down, looks one way behind the back pass, and then just couldn't get it completed by Presley Parsons. Beautiful, beautiful play by Chelsea Holcomb.
And that came after, on the other end of the court, her smashing into the press table, going after a loose ball. She has played extremely hard here in this ball game.
She came over for a post-game interview early, and you saved her from getting hurt.
76-49 Summers County with the lead, the basketball, and 2 more. Hannah Gano. And Hannah Gano has 8. 78-49 Summers County, 5:30 left to go in the game. Parsons dribbles too deep. Turnover. And you also will notice that Wayne Ryan will wait for it before he puts those deeper in the bench. Wait for it.
He has a starting 7, but he stops about right at that 7 before it's really late in the game, before he puts in some of those other players that sit on the end of the bench.
Up strong is Estes. The foul, if the foul is on McIntyre, let's see who they give the foul to. Yep, that's going to be it for Rachel McIntyre. Rachel McIntyre, the 6'1" senior, her outstanding career at Lincoln, Fred, comes to an end.
It does, and you can see that she's going to start feeling the emotion as she gets closer to that Lincoln bench, met there by her head coach, David Ray. The tears will fall, but she has really, really endeared herself to high school basketball fans in the state that has seen her play here at the Charleston Civic Center Coliseum over the last 3 days. What a player. Teammates hugging each other. What a run they've had. Again, they certainly wanted to finish as state champs, but boy, they cannot be disappointed after this season.
Well, they're 23-2.
Exactly. And I mean, they've had a wonderful year. They beat a very, very good Sissonville ball club in the semifinals just to get here today. Sissonville came into the game on Friday as with only 1 loss, and that 1 loss was to who? Summers County, by 30 points back in the middle of the season. So again, they've done extremely well.
In fact, Fred, when you and I were talking about this game, and everybody was picking Summers County, and you said, wait a minute, watch out for Lincoln. They're playing good basketball now. Watch out for Lincoln.
And they were playing great basketball, and it's not that they have played bad basketball today. It's just Summers County has done exactly what Summers County has done all year long. A little surprising move by Wayne Ryan. He has dropped back, and he doesn't pick them up. He's dropped back into, should we say the word zone for Summers County?
He doesn't play a zone.
No, he doesn't.
No, he said in his game information, he says, we play man-to-man. We don't play zone.
But maybe he's
They don't know how to play. They don't know how to play zone.
We'll see how it goes. He may bring them out of that zone if he doesn't like what he sees.
His players won't know what to do. Holcomb with her 27th point.
In for the Bobcats, 34, Cox.
Well, you know, and this is no consolation for Chelsea Holcomb. I mean, she's going to be obviously on that all-tournament team with this performance.
Yeah, I'll be so surprised if she and Rachel McIntyre both are not on the all-tournament team. They played that well in their stay here in the capital city.
28 for Chelsea Holcomb. 79-51, Summers County.
To look on Wayne Ryan's face after they lose it out of bounds. Are you kidding me? I mean,
I don't know. His expression hasn't changed the whole game. When they were trading points early on, when there was 9 lead changes early on, he looked one way. He looks the same way now. 30 for Holcomb.
Is that the game face?
Yeah,
Must be the
I'd
game
call that
face.
the game face. I think the challenge is going to be for Ryan is when you get the championship, would it keep the camera on him and get him to crack a big smile?
He said, I don't know. Are we up enough? Should we put any substitutes in? And he looks at those assistant coaches. I don't know. It's still too much time left.
Dan Lohman, producing today's game, reminds us in a ball game, anything can in fact happen. Well, what you do like to see at this point in a game like this is both teams still playing extremely hard. You see good sportsmanship. You see both coaches still coaching. Mack traveled.
Couldn't get control of the basketball in time to stop the double dribble.
You know, Mack's had a great tournament. I mean, she's going to be back for 2 more years. She had 23 points in the win over Ravenswood in the semis. 26 here in this game.
I think you're going to see both these teams back in the state tournament next year. A lot of talent coming back for both ball clubs. Chelsea Holcomb again.
32 for Holcomb. 79-55. Of course, some of that may be as Estes picks up her 10th point. And this is not a reflection on Holcomb, but Wayne Ryan has probably said, look, don't foul. You know, don't start mixing it up here. I mean, you don't want to stop the game, do you think?
No, I think the clock certainly wants to keep it moving, and 3:20 now, and this game is going to wind down. Summers County is going to get that 3rd straight title, but not any pressure defense, and that certainly helps out Chelsea Holcomb, and she wants the timeout now for her Lincoln Cougars.
Emily Blevins gets her 18th point, and Wayne Ryan still showing no signs that he's just minutes away from a championship.
That's it, loser. I am done wasting my time with you, and I am done wasting my money on you. All you care about is TV. TV, TV, TV. I want you gone.
Hard is living with satellite.
Well, your TV, internet, and phone are ready. Enjoy your bundle.
I love you.
Easy is trading up to Suddenlink.
I mean, do you like chips?
Satellite can't bundle. We can.
Suddenlink, you're connected.
If you or someone you know is in the 11th grade, the opportunity of a lifetime is here. West Virginia Wesleyan and Metro News are teaming up to give away a 4-year scholarship worth more than $90,000. Go to wvmetronews.com for details and to apply. The deadline is May 10th. This once-in-a-lifetime opportunity is presented by Energize West Virginia with Natural Gas, West Virginia Healthcare Association, the West Virginia Directors of Senior and Community Services, Friends of Coal, and by Metro News. The Summers County Bobcat fans, they are 3 minutes away from perfection. 28-0 would be the first time in school history.
First time in school history, 3rd straight state championship. Wayne Ryan pointing to the young ladies that are going to be coming into this ball game momentarily.
Lincoln has had a ton of turnovers today, and that's been problematic for them as Estes gets 2 more. In fact, they have tied a tournament record for the number of turnovers in this ball game. We'll get that number to you in just a minute.
Class AA, that would be 41 that Buffalo Wayne committed against University back in 1987. So 41 turnovers today. They would need 3 more to break it for all 3 classes, but they've tied it right now in Class AA. Not a stat, certainly, that David Ray would like. They had 36 turnovers at the end of 3 quarters. Compare that to only 16 at the end of 3 for Summers County.
Well, it's that pressure that Summers County runs that is just relentless. As Gano gets her 20th point. wears you down. I mean, you don't get any breathers. Every time you turn around, you got a couple of bobcats in your face, and they're clawing at you like bobcats. Okay, Wayne Ryan is going to go to the bench. And with 2 minutes to go, going to go deep to his bench, bring in 5 new players, bring all the starters out, most of the starters out.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see the record for most points scored in a game by a team in Class AA, 95. That was one of those title teams from Tucker County. About 2 minutes are left.
Big hug, round of applause from the fans from Summers County, the Hinton area, have come to Charleston for this game. And you know, in some sense, Fred, everybody was expecting, most people were expecting Summers County to win this. So in some ways, you can say the pressure's off. But after a while, the pressure builds. So now you can say finally, right?
Well, I think you can say finally. Now all of a sudden, you know what? There's a team in single A that's won 4 straight state championships. Only one. That's Mercer Christian. Boy, we could tie that next year as a AA team. Well, now the pressure begins again.
Let them have a couple of days, will you?
I will let them have a year. They won't take a couple of days. They'll be right after it.
Well, that's what happens. That's
how you get programs.
Yeah, that's when you have programs, and that's the good thing you like about winning. But the expectation's there. And after a while, and you saw it because you spent years announcing the Beckley Woodrow Wilson games. If you don't win the championship, everybody's going, what happened? What's wrong?
Exactly. What? Well, you failed. No, I was runners up. What? Runners up. But again, you talk about programs. That's why the boys team at Beckley Woodrow Wilson have 16 state championship banners hanging from the rafters. The Civic Center in Beckley.
Basket by Parsons, who the freshman guards put together a nice little game here today with 11 points. Coming up on 1 minute to play, the AA championship game. Rematch of Summers County and Lincoln from last year was won by Summers County, and they're going to win their 3rd straight title and complete this undefeated season. So who's back for Summers County? They have the Gano sisters back. Ashley Brown will be a senior guard. They lose Emily Blevins. Leslie Macker at 26 today. She's going to be back. Estes is a senior, so she's gone. Kim Cox is a senior. She's gone. Candace Brown, who didn't play today, but she's played. No, she did play today. I'm sorry. And she's back. Morgan Gore has gotten some playing time. So are they your preseason number 1 in AA?
Well, they will be. I don't think there's any question, and most of that, though, is based on what have you done for me lately, and I think they've done quite a bit for high school basketball lately. So I think Summers County will, with all of these young ladies coming back, they will be the preseason number 1 next year.
Lincoln loses Bree Flanagan. They lose Chelsea Holcomb. That's huge.
And they lose Rachel McIntyre.
And they lose Lane. So they lose 4 of their 5 starters. So Coach David Ray got some rebuilding to do over in Shinston. We are state champs is the cheer from the Summers County fans. Fans holding up signs that say perfection and Summers number 1. You know, it's great to see that kind of support, community support for your team.
I don't want to say there's confidence in Hinton, West Virginia, but they're putting on the state championship T-shirts right now.
Don't let Coach Wayne Ryan see you do that.
It's got 3-peat on the front of those T-shirts, and they're being handed to the players by one of those assistant coaches and his wife that we talked about earlier. That's Ricky Shrewsbury and his wife, handing out those 3-peat championship T-shirts. And now Coach Ryan looked down and said, let's take the T-shirts off. Game is not over.
Checking into the Cougars lineup, number 50, Ashley Martin.
Oh, no, he's going to let him, isn't he?
Now
he's looking for his size.
I think he's looking for his size. You might be right there.
Yeah, what's my size?
Where's my size here?
Coach, we know you're an L. Just an L. That's all. Maybe not.
Last year he might have been an L. What do you think?
Foul call. 23 seconds to go. 89-58 Summers County. seconds away from their AA championship.
The T-shirts are now being placed on the back of the chairs. Coach Ryan says, hey. As our producer Dan Lohman once so eloquently said, anything can happen.
At the line,
how about this Lincoln team? Never, ever quit. Chelsea Holcomb, my goodness. What a player.
What, 32?
What a game she's had. That's only 5 off the state tournament record of 37.
And with the 4 fouls, played her heart out.
She has.
And Lincoln, I mean, they just played very, very hard. Just ran into like 27 other teams this year, ran into Summers County. Final 10 seconds, winding off the clock. And the Bobcats of Summers County and Coach Wayne Ryan are going to complete a perfect year.
Unofficial score of the ball game for Lincoln.
It is, in fact, a three-peat for the Bobcats of Summers County. 89-59, they beat Lincoln, a dominant performance by the Summers County team.
It's a performance like we've seen all year long for high school basketball fans that have followed the Summers County team. They have been perfection. They have been dominant all season long, never ever looking past any one opponent, always playing to the end, which they did here today. And you give them credit. Their 3rd straight state AA championship.
Leslie Mack, huge today, 26 points. Hallie Gano had 20 points. And when we come back, we'll talk with Coach Wayne Ryan about his 3rd consecutive championship. Right after this, we'll return to the Charleston Civic Center.
What? I don't drink. Girl, you're crazy.
Man, can I get this bottle of liquor? Here's my ID.
You know the side effects of drinking?
The side effects of drinking makes you feel good.
You know, I don't even want this anymore.
These are the side effects of drinking. They can alter your thinking. It makes you want to throw up. It doesn't make you grown up.
Underage drinking is illegal.
You don't have to drink to fit in.
Don't be a statistic. Underage drinking is not a minor problem. 21 means 21.
Celebration underway for the Summers County Lady Bobcats. They win the AA championship, defeat Lincoln 89-59. The player of the game is presented by Friends of Coal, committed to clean energy, your job, and a better quality of life for all West Virginians. Friends of Coal. Leslie Mack, the sophomore guard, our player of the game. What a game she had. 26 points today, 17 in the first half, and up to 26. She was red hot in this championship game. There she gets a stick back. So congratulations to Leslie Mack as our Friends of Coal player of the game. Fred Persinger standing by with three-peat coach Wayne Ryan.
Head coach Wayne Ryan of the Summers County Lady Bobcats. Perfection. We saw the signs on the Civic Center Coliseum. That means so much. All of the talent that has come through Summers County High School, Hinton High School, never had a girls team go undefeated and win a state title. The first one.
You know, it was a goal for these kids because they understood the legacy of this program, and it was something they really wanted to accomplish. I'm very proud of them, and I thank the Lord that I've had the opportunity to be a part of it because I've got great kids.
When you looked at this ball club coming down in the first couple of games, let's be honest, you didn't play the way you thought they should. I thought you really got back to Bobcat basketball today.
We really did. You know, we got the tempo up. The first two teams did a great job controlling the tempo. We were just determined today that the pace of this game was going to be the way we like to play, so people could see, you know, what we're about. And our kids did a great job. And our depth, again, is such a big factor. I'm so proud of the number of kids that contribute to this state championship and to this undefeated perfect season.
All right, one final question, and I know how things are at Hinton and Summers County. You now have tied Tucker County High School with 3 consecutive state championships. Is there 4 in the future?
We're certainly going to try. You know, there were a lot of times today where we had all underclassmen on the floor, you know, and they can play. And if they want that challenge, we'll certainly put it out there. We'll go for it.
Keep that smile going, buddy.
Fred, thank you.
Congratulations to head coach Wayne Ryan, state champions again. Hop back to you.
How about Fred Persinger putting the monkey on his back and saying, how about a 4th championship? Congratulations to Coach Wayne Ryan. We'll return to the Charleston Civic Center right after this. Summers County, the Bobcats are the AA champions in girls basketball. They beat Lincoln today 89-59. Along with Fred Persinger, I'm Hoppy Kirchhoff. Fred, you've been around this state tournament a long time. Where does Summers County fit in terms of a dominant program in girls basketball in West Virginia?
Well, I don't think there's any question they're a dominant program. Where they would rank, you'd have to put them, I'm certain, in the top 5 with what they've accomplished. You know, we can go back and think about all the great Parkersburg teams we've seen. We can go back and talk about Tucker County and Mercer Christian and all of those teams. Morgantown has had some dominant runs, but well, I tell you, Summers County, with the number of kids they put out onto the floor and the way they keep taking them on to other programs, certainly a dominant program.
And to go through a season and not lose a single game, 28-0, it's not only about winning a championship, it's like taking a big sigh, like, oh, a relief, it's over, we won the championship. So congratulations to Coach Wayne Ryan and the Summers County Lady Bobcats. They win the AA championship, defeating Lincoln 89-59. For the crew in the truck, for Fred Persinger, I'm Hoppy Kirchhoff. So long from Metro News Sports, everybody.